we went to an old age home. So we contacted them 2 days prior and that we want to visit there. And if you have any need, so they given us a grocery list which they need maybe for a week. So we bought it and we went to that old age home along with our child. So again, as usual, he was a bit amazed and plus a little bit depressed as well to see them like in this condition, and then again bombarding of questions. How that it was after that he was also a little bit in different mode. So it was a nice experience for him as well as us mainly to answer his questions. Basically, why these people are like that and why nobody takes care of them, and so and ultimately he was happy. Like, okay, we helped them somehow.
There's a lot of this housekeeping stuff, and as a part of a CSR activity, every year we give them funds for their children's education, the fees for their. What touched me was that he talked about his daughter. So he said he found this girl, maybe a young baby, maybe a few months old or something, on the streets, and he picked up this girl and he kind of actually waited, that somebody could kind of come and own the girl. I think nobody came up and she was not well at that point in time. So he took her to the doctor, and at his level of whatever his prosperity is, he spent some 7,000 rupees doing her kind of for the medicines and getting her weight. Eventually he realized that nobody came to kind of pick up that girl, so the girl grew up with him, and then she kind of became a 3.5-year-old, and still the girl didn't have a name or no identity. So he kind of decided to kind of get her to the school. When he went to the school, he realized that they cannot accept her because she needs a family, and that is where he decided to adopt her. So he adopted her, did an affidavit, and now she is his daughter. So what touched me is we keep talking about kindness, and we do a lot of things, but I think here was a man, who taught me more than what I could, think about kindness.
In fact, someone has said school stands for Societal Center for the Holistic Organization of Life. स्कूल से ही हम पूरे जीवन को फिर से संवार सकते हैं. We can again make it a holistic, sustainable way of living when the community of parents, community of teachers, and the community of children and people who care for the world start talking to each other, interacting, and so on and so on. Hopes and fears and desires हैं, उसके अतीत करुणा का सागर है, प्रेम का सागर है. वो वही प्रेम का सागर जो आपके अंदर भी है. Is it okay? You get it, Smita? Yeah. So do this heartfelt namaste. There are no targets here कि कितने नमस्ते किए, कितना जल्दी किया, नहीं. शांति से, प्रेम से, mindfully, please do this namaste. और जो श्वास आप अभी ले रहे हैं, like what you're breathing right now, those molecules, were they part of someone else's breath? Hemati, was it part of someone else's breath? It was. We're all interconnected. We're deeply interconnected. Today you will be breathing at least a few hundred molecules of what Jesus and Buddha breathed in his life. I repeat that. जो जीसस, बुद्धा, मीराबाई ने अपने पूरे जीवन में श्वास ली थी, वही मॉलिक्यूल्स आप आज आपके श्वास में जाएंगे. So coming back to my thing, IIT, okay, technology, I am okay, and with all respects to management and all. At the end of the day, it is my kind-heartedness, my compassion, my love in action that is really what it's all about. I said, if you want to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to make others happy, practice compassion. So the key is, what happens is you feel extremely happy when you're doing compassionate acts and you bring happiness to the other people. The joy, the smiles, the opportunities, the possibilities, right? So it works both ways. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you want to be happy? Everyone. Fantastic. That's it. So be compassionate.
I just feel when we do something that is very compassionate and very kind, we feel connected to everyone.
Beautiful.
We feel part of something that is more than ourselves.
Who else do we get cut off from? Our neighbors. Okay, let's do a small exercise. Are you willing to do a quick exercise, 2 minutes? Keep your notebooks and everything down and just get up. Okay. Now, it is morning rush hour, 8:30 in Churchgate Station, Bombay. 8:30 a.m., right? And you have to move, you're late in office, you're already late, you're late. Now mill around in the room, rush around the room, because you're late, everybody's running around, everybody's rushing, do it now. Come on, rush around, you're late, come on, move. Come on, move it fast. Yes, sir. You're late, come on, move. Yes. The train, come on. The siren will ring, the bell will ring. Just move. You're getting late. Late. Move. Fast. Okay, stop. Don't do anything. Just stop. Just be mindful of your breathing and your body and your mind. Just be mindful. Just stop. See what happened. What happens to your body? What happens to your mind? What happens to your breathing? Okay, very quickly. What happened to your breathing? Faster and fast and deep, or fast and shallow? Fast and shallow. What happened to your connection with your fellow people? No connection. Are you getting what I'm saying? And your body actually reflects it. Your body feels agitated. Isn't it? Did you notice that? We just did it for 3 minutes. Thank God we didn't do it for 13 years. Thank God, just 3 minutes. And you saw how your body was feeling? Agitated. So the second kind of disconnect that happens is disconnect between people and people. सर हार्ट ने कभी कहा है मेरी प्रमोशन का क्या हो रहा है, मेरा इंक्रीमेंट कब हो गया, ऐसा हुआ है? नहीं, थैंक गॉड नहीं. Do you get a bill, madam? Heart utility services? Does anyone get an oxygen utility service bill every month? No, you don't. So third disconnection is disconnection with nature. We hugged trees. We actually went and hugged a tree. About action, one of the best ways to teach children is to set an example. Sustainable livelihood, Jeevan Nadi, she's doing, we're all working on this together. That can be all, because it's not just a unilateral thing. It's compassion for our rivers, compassion for clean streets, compassion. I mean, compassion is such a widespread thing. But the key is action. No amount of talking is going to help. An ounce of action is better than mountains of talk.
It's better to light one candle than to cast the darkness. Better to let its bright light show where you stand. For it's blowing out the dark night like the coming of a new dawn. Will be born from that small flame in your hand.
we discussed in compassion session that we are all interconnected. So how the food is connecting us with many things, let's see that. So when we talk about food, there are different aspects of food. One is growing food, where the food is grown, how the food is grown, that thing. Then how the food is transacted. Many of us don't grow food. So how we get food. Then how we prepare food for eating. How we process food, that is another aspect. Then actually consuming food. Do we consume food mindfully, or we just looking at TV, video, WhatsApp chat, we have food? That is another aspect. And then disposal of food. And if you then expand these aspects or go into further details of these aspects, what you will see is it is connected with almost everything else in the world which is concerned to us. We can say that we have two homes. One is our body and even the earth. So how we said that we are connected to all the other aspects of living is through the basic 5 elements that we are composed of. The earth, water, air, fire and space. As we are made up of it, every other thing in nature is made up of it. So when we have a lot of pollution or spoiling of natural resources, when they get deteriorated, as we see the effect on environment, actually we are also experiencing it inside. However, we just don't connect it that way. We don't relate it that way. But the kind of diseases that are going on or growing and the age at which we are catching up different diseases, that's just reflection of the same thing. As we are polluting the world outside, the environment outside, it is indirectly impacting us inside, and that is what is creating so many problems. We cannot say that just having residue-free food is safe food. So what we call it as safe food is, it should be safe for the consumer, of course, but it should also be safe for the producers. It should also be safe for the farmers. Then it should be also have to be safe for the soil and the microorganisms in the soil and the environment.
It is very important to slow down in our daily routines. These are the 2 things that I'm going to definitely implement. That slowing down at some moments in a day with my family, with my child and with myself, to understand my powers and to see how I can use those powers to help myself and essentially to the society.
I think what I liked about today's session was the thought around infinite compassion. So how we are all interconnected, as individuals, as people, to the environment, to the nature. I think all that came across pretty well. I was highly impressed with Annadata initiative, how we can get closer to the food chain and contribute, and just not kind of do good for ourselves, but for our children as well as to the larger society.